Bill Barrett had just tidied up his parents' grave. They were buried together and the grave was situated under a shady yew tree near St Mary's Lich Gate. He gathered up his tools and placed them in his carrier bag, and as he stood up, he noticed Clifford Apsley at the west tower, looking up towards the church roof. "So what wrong with the roof, Clifford?" "The guttering, Bill. It looks positively ancient and the birds are nesting up there." "Ah, and it leaks too. Yeah, I noticed that when we had that last storm." "I think perhaps we should have a meeting. What do you think? Work will have to be done on it. Goodness knows how much it's likely to cost. If it's not done before next winter, I can see the leak becoming a nasty patch of ice on the path, and we can't risk parishioners breaking an arm or leg, can we? Ah, no, that's a fat not." Clifford looked up at the guttering once again, then returned his gaze to Bill. His face had a somewhat searching look about it. "I wanted to ask you about your grandson, actually." "Greg or Noel?" Young Greg. I believe he's got himself involved with this young girl who's had the baby. By golly, news travels fast, doesn't it ever? Oh, I'm not trying to pry or anything, Bill, but look, rest assured, Clifford, he's not the father." "Oh, no. Of that I'm quite certain. The reason I mention it is that the girl is Cleo Petty." "Oh, well, yes, I believe that is her name, but how the dickens did you know that?" "Well, the Pettys are well known around Market Langford. He's a businessman, and they've got an immaculate home, and, well, on the face of it, are a decent living family. But it couldn't be further from the truth." "Look, forgive me, Clifford, but how do you know all this?" "My colleague Nigel Freeman looks after their parish and paid me a visit the other Monday afternoon. Just a social call, but he just happened to mention all this business of the abandoned baby at Church Farm and Cleo Petty being the mother. What he told me, Bill, was extremely disturbing." When Alec Harris lost his job as a builder in 1980, the lack of employment in that profession locally forced him to take what work he could. He took the job as a lorry driver in the village for the agricultural engineering company based at the back of the parish church. He was unfairly dismissed 2 years later and won the case. At that time a new factory was opening on the village's outskirts, which made parts for combine harvesters and balers, and he was taken on by the firm's American boss, Cy Vason, again as a lorry driver. But times are hard. The agricultural engineering industry isn't what it was, and many firms are going to the wall. "Hi Andy, how you doing, mate? I'd be a lot happier if I hadn't been at that meeting just now." "What meeting's that then?" "Oh, of course. You've been out on the road, haven't you?" "I just got back from Brum, actually. So what was the meeting about then?" "Doom and gloom, mate. This company's about to make economies, and you can guess what that means, can't you?" "Economies? What do you mean?" "There's talk of redundancies, Alec. Look, I hope you've got your mortgage insured, mate, because it could be any one of us, I'm telling you." At Church Farm, David Embling was not impressed with his wife's revelation. While she made lunch, she tried to explain to him why she'd visited Prince Andrew's Hospital the day before. "Gwen, I told you to keep away."
"I had to go, David. Call it maternal instincts if you like, but I couldn't help thinking of that girl and what she might have been going through."
"There's nothing you can do, love. Social services are sorting her out, so save your sorry for them as needs it."
"That poor girl needs friends, David. I mean, she must have been desperate to give birth in the barn, mustn't she?"
"She wouldn't thank you for your interference. Now put it all behind you. We found the baby out in the barn. The social services are sorting mother and baby out, and that's an end to it."
"Oh, well, perhaps it is a good thing that she wasn't there when I called, eh?"
"Look, Gwen, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the heavy-handed husband, and I know you've never been able to come to terms with not being able to have a family of our own. But I can't help feeling that you're doing yourself no favours at all, trying to get yourself involved." Gwen smiled at him. He placed his arm around her shoulder and she shed a little tear. Her thoughts kept going back to the night they found the tiny tot in the box of straw. Collingbourne Tuck came out of his shed. Betty Barrett was paying him a visit. She was delivering a cooked meal, which is something she'd done regularly for a number of years.
"I've put it on your sitting room table, Collingbourne. Have it while 'tis still hot." What's so special about your shed you keeps looking in there?
Hedgehogs, Betty. I got a family of 'em in there. Mother, father and 2 babies.
You sure?
Course I am. I knows hedgehog when I sees one. They snuffles all round the front lawn every night about 10:30, I suppose, 'cause I hears 'em.
But hedgehogs travel miles during the night. They go from garden to garden. So what makes you think you've got a family exclusive to you?
They either make homes in garden sheds and under floorboards, Betty. They gotta live somewhere during the day. They be behind me logs.
Ah yes, now them logs. I've heard that Fred Partridge has been seen over at Hampton Woods cutting down trees that he's no business. So you be careful what you buy from him. You don't want to end up an accessory, do you?
He's already been trying to push 'em on, Ty. Here, I ain't that daft, Betty. He ain't loading my shed up with shifty stuff. Here, you smelt 'em lately?
No, I certainly have not.
Oh, he smells whooping of pigs. Wouldn't surprise I if he weren't feeding they was swill, and that's illegal. That reminds me, I expect me dinner's getting cold.
If that's what you think of my cooking, Collingbourne Tuck, I shan't bring you no more.
When Alec Harris arrived home from work that evening, he was somewhat subdued. Carol knew only too well that something was worrying her husband, but didn't badger him. In fact, she put it down to present concern over Greg and the mysterious Cleo. She offered him some leftover mashed potato to help him finish off his meal. He declined, and at that moment the front door bell rang.
Hello, Dad. Come on in.
Bill Barrett stepped inside and Carol closed the door.
Everything okay?
Is Greg at home, love?
No, he's still at the Polly, actually. Can I give him a message?
No. No, it's you I want to talk to. Look, I heard something very interesting this morning about that girl. And I got a feeling young Greg already knows about this, but I wanted to tell you. Now, where's Alec?
Well, he's in the kitchen, actually, having his evening meal. But he's not very happy, I'm afraid.
But look, you better go and get him, because I reckon he ought to hear what I got to say, because this is very serious, Carol.